In early 2026, a resident in Northern Virginia opened their electricity bill, $343, double what it was the year before. Same house, same thermostat, same family. They hadn't changed how they were living. Something around them had. Every time you ask an AI a question, it feels almost weightless. A sentence in, a sentence out, no factory, no smokestack. But that feeling is an illusion. Behind every AI response is a physical system, power grids, water supplies, semiconductor factories, and contested borders. And the race to build it is reshaping the world faster than the world can keep up. To understand why this is happening now, you have to understand how modern AI actually works. Training a single AI model can take months of computation across tens of thousands of chips. And once trained, every question you ask runs through that same hardware around the clock. That demand has triggered the largest infrastructure build-out the technology industry has ever attempted, and it starts with electricity. According to the International Energy Agency, global data centers consumed 415 terawatt-hours in 2024, approaching the entire annual electricity consumption of France. By 2030, that number is set to more than double, the equivalent of Japan today in 6 years. Suddenly, the most valuable technology in the world is also one of the most power-hungry industries ever built. Then there is water. These chips don't just consume power, they generate heat, and cooling them requires water. In 2023, Google's data centers consumed 6.4 billion gallons of water globally. One single facility in Iowa used a billion gallons in 1 year, enough to supply the state's residential needs for 5 days. One building. And the locations chosen are often the same places where water is already scarce. Nowhere is this clearer than Northern Virginia, known to the industry as Data Center Alley. By some estimates, 70% of the world's internet traffic passes through this single stretch of land. When the build-out began, it looked like a success story. Loudoun County alone expected nearly $900 million from data centers in a single year, but the grid wasn't built for what came next. The regional electricity market saw its capacity auction price rise by 833% in 1 year. Not 83, 833. Dominion Energy proposed a 14% rate increase for residential customers in 2026, citing data center growth as a key driver. In Virginia, there is little preventing utilities from passing infrastructure costs onto ordinary households. At public hearings, residents testified they were skipping meals to pay their bills. The data centers received $1.9 billion in tax exemptions in a single fiscal year. The residents got higher bills. Beneath the electricity and water lies a deeper layer, the chips. Today, 92% of the world's most advanced AI chips are manufactured in one place, Taiwan, 180 kilometers from a country that considers a sovereign territory. The US, China, the EU, Japan, and South Korea are all spending tens of billions to build domestic capacity, because whoever controls the chips controls the infrastructure of the next century. Beneath the chips lies one more layer. Advanced electronics, electric motors, and defense systems all depend on rare earth elements and critical minerals, and AI hardware sits inside that same supply chain. China controls roughly 70% of global rare earth mining and over 90% of refining. In April 2025, during a trade war, Beijing restricted exports of 7 rare earth elements. Magnet exports fell 3/4 in 2 months. In October, China extended controls to any product containing Chinese processed rare earths anywhere in the world. Some countries are willing to use that control as leverage. Now, this is not a simple story. The IEA found that if AI is widely adopted in the energy sector, it could cut global emissions by 5 to 10% by 2035, more than data centers themselves produce. Google made their AI 33 times more energy efficient in a single year. These are real gains, but efficiency and community cost are not the same question. The question is not whether AI creates value, the question is who bears the cost of building it. We talk about AI as if it exists somewhere in the cloud, weightless, borderless. But intelligence at scale turns out to be surprisingly material. Power stations, transmission lines, water, mines, factories, ports. And it needs them now, faster than governments can plan, faster than grids can adapt, faster than communities can respond. The conversation about AI has mostly been about what it can do. The one beginning to force itself open is about what it costs. Who pays for it? Who controls it? Who decides? And it has already begun.